Hey there, Exiles, it's Necron370 bringing you another episode in our Exiled Land series. Today we are checking out the Dreg. This is probably going to be the first dungeon you run across, and so you're probably going to want to know what to do and where to go. So very first off, let's show you where to go. So bring up your map here and you will see where I am over here on the corner of the map at D4, and it is called the Dregs, and it has a little village in front of it, if you will, called Skulker's End. And then there's also a camp above it as well. You might end up there first and look down over it, but this is the area you want to go. So once you're here, then we get to the fun stuff. So take out your favorite killing weapon and start making your way through. There are a few large groups of the cannibals here, but as long as you're using the right weapon that you're accustomed to using, you're not going to have any problems taking them out. So make short work of them and you'll move up to the next set of them. So once you've dealt with your first wave of cannibals, come over to this flag that this one's praying at. No, get back here. Stop running. Die honorably. And you come up to this flag and you'll be able to interact with it, and you'll learn the Dinafri banners. How helpful. Alright, over here by this fire you'll have a chest. You can loot and find some stuff if you need. There's also this one over here, and a metal one right here. So you can go ahead and get yourself some nice loot. Then we have a little ghost who interacts with us and shows us this journal and teaches us the comb hair emote. So as you come forward, as I said, there's a few ways to do this. Where's my Trushion? Yeah, there it is. Let's get this out. Okay, there's a few ways to do this. You can simply knock one of these guys out. Well, he's a level 3 fighter, that's why he was a little more tough. Okay, but so you can either knock him out and drag him in, and once everything's dead, and then just sacrifice him. We're not gonna do that. I don't really see a point when you can literally just run over to the final groups, and well, we don't really need these guys, we have plenty. So kill these ones, loot the box. Before you go inside, you're gonna probably want to make a little trip to come up over here on top of everything, and you will find an obelisk. Be quick or else you'll gain corruption, but just run over, touch the obelisk, and you will attune to it. I'm already attuned to this one, but later on, once you learn to be a cartographer, which we'll go over once we get into the unnamed city, you will learn to be able to make the map room, and you can use the map room to teleport around to the main dungeon locations to help you level up. Once you do that, we're gonna make our way back down and head on inside. Once you've killed all of them, make your way up and you'll have a final 3 here. Just push past them. This way you don't have to knock anybody out or do anything like that. Just push past them and come in here. Now you'll see the ritual being completed by the ghosts. And once the ritual is complete, you just take the enemies you had following you and kill them right here. Once you kill them, give it a minute, and boom. Something happens. Probably one of the coolest entrances I've ever seen to a dungeon, and that's how we do it. So let's head on down and get into the dungeon. Immediately we will be met with ghosts. You'll see one walking down and one obviously reading the lore stone. So go ahead and read it yourself and you'll learn what you learn. As you come down, there'll be a notebook right there if you really need it, and you can read it and do what you will. So the very first thing is, well, it's actually going to be shown here by these ghosts. So this first puddle, you'll see a ghost swimming down, and there's a chest down there. So for us, it's not that difficult to get. You just swim on down, you can grab the glowing stuff there as well, glowing goop, and then get the chest if you really, really desire it. Nothing really that important from it. Okay. Beloved, come see. Alright, otherwise there's not much in this main chamber, so you just kind of make your way through up to the doorway. Once you're here, you'll be met by a group of warriors, ghosts, who are traveling through this door. All you do is you interact with it, and it will open for you. You don't need a key or anything specific. So make your way through and head on up to your first puzzle. Come to me. So right here, you're going to run into your first setback. When you try to climb up these, you won't be able to. You'll need to bring a bow with you. If you're an avid adventurer, you should already have one of these on you. But up here, there's this dial. All you simply do is take aim, shoot at the dial. Give it a minute, and the water level will start rising, allowing you to float your way up. Ah, my clever one. Yeah, you're damn right I'm clever. So proceed up and interact with the next door. It doesn't take much, just open it up. This is mostly a puzzle-based dungeon. That's why this is one of the first ones you find. It's because there's not really much to it. It's just the boss at the end might be a little difficult for inexperienced players. So here again, we run into a wall we cannot climb, and off to the left side of us, we will have this dial again. Same as before, take aim, shoot it, and give it a minute, and the water levels will rise. There we are. And then we move forward into the next chamber. This is where we start getting a little more difficult. It is a lot easier if you have friends with you, but it can be done alone very simply as long as you know what you need to do. So you have the first one here, then take aim at, take shot, and now you're going to need to be quick. Wait until the water fills up. The second it's at the top, you're going to want to go. Swim over as fast as you can to either the left or right side. Take a shot, hop back in the water, and swim to the opposite side. And you're going to want to be quick on this because the water level will go down. Damn it. So if you mess up, you just come back, wait for it, and then go to your opposite side. And then same as before, you just shoot the other dial on the right side as well. Wait for the water level to come up, and then just swim your way across. Now all the water levels will rise for you, and you can make it all the way over. Ahead, we will have a couple of easy to fight dregs in front of us. Is that what you call it? Alright, make your way through, and up on either side of the catwalk. You can go straight through and ignore them. They won't aggro on you. But you can always deal with them. They're not that difficult. Let's try my daggers on this guy. Just got these. That's not too shabby. But make short work of the enemies as ever you see fit, and then we will move forward. I await you. Alright, now we get to, again, it's not a difficult puzzle, but if you don't know what you're doing or where you're supposed to go, it can be a little troublesome. So first off, you're going to come off to your left, go into this open puddle, and you'll see this rubble. Climb up the rubble. Well, you can't actually climb it, but jump up it. And then if you look straight across, you will see another one of those dials we need to hit. So just make your power shot happen so it flies straight and true. Nail it and wait for the water level to rise. Now the way we're going up is over here. Normally you can get up from the side over here, but I always find it is problematic. So this is where normally you should be able to get up. It never really works for me, so I always just swim around to the side here, and I'm always able to get up here. And so once you do, you just make your way up through the rubble, and you are coming to the final area. Alright, now we are at the final boss. There are a few ways to fight this thing. Overall, it's not that difficult, but it is more so intimidating. Woohoo! There we go, already starting off with it. So very first off, you can take a shield out, and you can guard against all of these acid attacks. And it'll block it directly, and you'll be fine. And those are pretty much all its attacks. Now there is one more we're waiting for right there. When he dives down, he will emerge, so always just keep moving. And then if you're physical, you can just take your main weapon and start attacking. And it will take you a couple times. We're going to try bleeding on him next time. Oh, no you don't. But see, he's not too difficult to deal with. You just kind of move in a circle constantly around him, and he will have a hard time hitting you. Ooh, he would have hit me there, that's for sure. If you get too close, he will try to bite you, so you want to try and stay at the back of the circle. But when he dives down like that, that's what you're waiting for. Comes up, and down he goes. And once he dies, you can... Oh, I don't have one out. Of course not. You can take out your harvesting tool, and you can begin to harvest. I definitely recommend using something better than that. Probably a skinning knife. Do I have one? Yeah, I do. Why wasn't I using a skinning knife? And get yourself some reptile hide. But, you know, it depends on what you're using. Depends on the majority of what you get. But once the acid drains away, come down and interact with this book, and you will learn everything abysmal. So that includes the armor I have on, the Abysmal Sword, the Abysmal Daggers, and more. We'll take a look at that in a second once we're out of here. Do be aware that if you stay down in that pit to look through things, the acid will come back up and it will damage you. So just get your thing and get out of there. There's no point to stay in there. Alright, once you are done here and you are victorious, you get your achievement, and you feel like you have accomplished one of the hardest things ever possible in Conan, which you're wrong. Then you just come to this grate here and interact with it. And we emerge outside of the Dregs. As you can see, I've been here a few times. I decided to set up a little base camp. Where we actually emerge is right here, just on the backside of the unnamed city. I'll zoom in a little bit for that, so you can keep yourself oriented. This is the ridge line. You spawn right on top, so if you came down, you'd be right back at the start here. And once you're done, you have learned the Abysmal feat, which consists of here. So you will learn the glowing stick, breath potion, glowing essence, glowing standing torch, glowing wall torch, and cooked abysmal meat. Now, these are just for the survivalist side of things. There are other things you learn, but the breath potion, obviously, you're able to breathe underwater. Glowing essence is essentially a base to most alchemical concoctions, and the cooked abysmal meat can be used to heal yourself greatly. I believe it does 2 times restoring effect for health restoration. As well, if you use it for animals, it will give them a great chance to become a greater creature. Now, on top of that, you will also learn the Abysmal Sword, which does 20 health damage at its base level, as well as the Abysmal Daggers, which do 18 base damage. Now, just remember, these are just the regular style ones. These aren't like shaft-made ones. And finally, we have the Reptilian Armor. And it is a cold climate armor, so it will keep you warm to some degree. It is wearable in the desert. You'll probably be hot, especially if you have a low survival, but it can be worn primarily in the northern highlands. I find is probably its best. It doesn't work well out in the colder climates, like where there is actually snow. It's just a little too light for that. You're going to want at least 2 ticks for that. But alright everybody, that is everything you need to know for the Dreg dungeon. Overall, it's not that difficult of a dungeon. It's more just a puzzle one. You just got to figure out how to get through it, and then once you make it to the boss, just knowing how to defeat it is honestly your greatest challenge, because it is not that difficult of a boss. So I hope this helps you, Exiles, on your path to getting your bracelets removed. And until next time, I've been Necron370, and stay frosty, my friends.